Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is another chess video. It's a sequel to the one I made yesterday. So in the last video, we learned about how the different pieces move. So we know there are pawns, rooks, knights, bishops, a king, and a queen. So we know a pawn can move 2 squares. We know a rook can go straight. We know a rook can also go to the side, up, right, left, down. We know that the only piece that can go over pieces are knights. Knights. They can go over this pawn. It can go up 2 or in any direction 2 and then any direction 1. So that's just a recap. So today we're going to learn about checks, checkmates, and captures. Let's start with captures. Okay. The first pawn moves like this. Then this person moves like this. So pawns are special because they capture in a very specific way. So we know that pawns can move forward, not backwards, not to the side, and not diagonal. So what they can do is they capture diagonal though. But they can't capture a piece that is right here because that's too far away. It can only capture a piece that is 1 square away. Boom. Same with the other pawn. It can capture. So that's how pawns capture. Another example, pawn, pawn, capture, capture. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys in the last video that pawns don't have to move 2 squares up at the start. They can move 1 square if they wanted to. But just 2 squares to give it a little boost. Next piece we're going to look at is the rook. So let's just get them out real quick. Okay, here's our rook. So the rook, we know that he can move like this, like this, like this. I mean, he can go backwards, but he can't because his pieces are in the way. So what can he capture right now? Well, basically, the pieces that the rook can capture is what he can see. So he can only see where he can move. He can only move here. That's it. Here, 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 here. What piece does he see first? He sees this pawn. So what can he do? He can take the pawn. So wait, okay. He can take the pawn. And the rook can take the pawn. Let's get him out again. What else can he do? Okay. Now the rook's here. What can he take now? Remember, he can still go over here, go here, go here, and go here. He can take these 2 pieces. Now, if he takes this piece, remember what the pawns can do? Or a rook. A rook can take him back. Or a pawn can take him back. Now remember, how much is a pawn worth? A pawn is worth 1 point. Remember from last video? 1 point. A rook is worth 5 points. Is it worth it to take this pawn when it's defended? It's not worth it. So if I was this rook, I would not take this pawn. And we'll learn why we can't take this pawn because these 3 pieces are defending it, and we'll learn about that. Okay. Next piece is the knight. Remember, so this knight's pretty easy to get out since he can jump over pieces. Okay. Remember, knight can go 2 in any direction, and then 1 in any direction. Like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. So if we can see where he can move, he can hit this pawn right here. He can take it. And then, remember, he can go 2 in any direction. So he can also take this pawn, but remember, knight is worth 3, pawn is worth 1. I wouldn't take it if I was him because then he just takes back. And now it's not worth it, is it? So no. The next piece is the bishop. Remember, they can move diagonal, so it's pretty easy to get him out too. Let's get him out right here. Okay, let's say the pawn's over here. Is there anything defending him? Nope, nope, nothing defending him right now. So it would be pretty good to take him. That's good. Remember, a bishop is worth more than a pawn. So if it goes like this, you wouldn't want to take, because he can take, he can take. We don't want that. Remember, bishop is worth more than a pawn. If a piece is worth more than the other piece, don't take it unless you're in specific conditions, which we'll talk about in another video. So then he could go here. He could have gone like this. So yeah, that's how the bishop moves. And then remember, the queen is the most important piece, or most powerful piece, sorry. So let's just get him out right here. And then the pawn could take if he wanted to, so okay. Never mind. Let's just move him here. Okay. What can the queen move? He can move diagonal. He can move straight. He can move straight. He can go all the way. He can go in any amount of squares he wants. She wants. So what can she take? Well, this pawn. Is it defended? No, doesn't look like it. So take. But then we see this. Remember, queen is worth, well, some people will say it's worth 9, some people say it's worth 11, but either one of those numbers is worth more than 3. A measly bishop, it's not worth it. See, if he took, I can just take right back. See, this bar goes down saying white is stupid because he did that. This bar basically shows how smart each person is. That was a good move by black, taking it. But yeah, why? There's no point in taking the bishop. However, the bishop is also targeting the queen, so you would need to move your queen out of the way. Yeah. Okay. Now the king, which looks like the worst piece because, of course, it can only move one in any direction. Let's just get him out. It'll probably take a while. Get him out. Get him out. Get him out. Okay. The king is under attack from this pawn. Remember, pawns can capture diagonal. So what will the king do? The king has lots of things he can do. He can either take this pawn or this pawn, because remember, he can go in any direction, but only one. So which pawn will he take? Which pawn will he take? Now let's think about it. Do we see any pieces that are defending this pawn? Queen, no. Knight, no. Bishop, no. Other bishop, no. Rook, no. Knight, no. Queen, no. Then that pawn is safe. What about this pawn? Nope. 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 Both pawns are safe. What would be strategically better? Probably taking this pawn, because you want to open up the file for this pawn. So taking this pawn would be better. I think, yeah, now it's saying that black is really stupid right now. There's not even a bar. That's how dumb black is, because he just gave up a pawn for no reason. Okay, remember, even though pawns are only worth 1, doesn't mean they're useless, as we'll talk about next video. But now that we've learned about all the pieces, let's just go over the points one more, and then we'll talk about checks and checkmate. Okay, rook, what is it? You said 5, correct. Knight, 3. Bishop, 3. Queen. Now, this is a tricky one. Some people say 9, some people say 11. But it's one of those. King has no value. That's what we're going to talk about in this video. Bishop, 3. Knight, 3. Rook, 5. Pawns are 1. Okay, let's talk about what the king has no value. So we know that almost all the pieces on the board can be taken. Not all of them. The king cannot be taken. That's right. Even if the king is like this. Look, he can't be taken. You know why? You know why he can't be taken? Because there's no way to take the king. The king can only be checked. What does check mean? It means when the king is under attack. See, the king's under attack. He cannot. The only way to get out of check is to move your piece away or take this piece. So if white had a bishop right here, he could have taken. But since he doesn't, he has to move out of the way. So what are the possible ways that he can move out of the way? Remember, like a compass almost. It looks like a compass. He can take, he can go, well, he can't go here, remember? Because then he would have been under attack. Check means under attack. You are not allowed to get your king under attack. So he cannot go here, he cannot go here, he can go here, here, and yeah, so he only has 3 options. What would be the best option strategically? Give you time to think about it. It would actually be to take this pawn. Why? For one thing, you get a pawn. And for another, it opens up the line for your pawn. So take. Yeah, that's good. That is good. And now, what you can do, well, now the king is out of check. But what if there are no escape options for the king? Let's set this up. Okay, this might take a while, but let's say we have something like this, okay? And then let's just get out our bishop, our rook. See, now check. Check, guys. Remember, check. He cannot move out of the way. The only way he can move out of the way is if he goes backwards. So, then he has to go backwards. And then, let's say black goes this. Let's say white just doesn't know what they're doing, so they're just moving their pawn. Why is he gonna set this up? Let's say white doesn't know he can't take. I'm just trying to set that up real quick. Okay, and then sorry. Okay. So now, what can white do here? White cannot move out of the way, so you're probably thinking the game's over, right? Because he can't move out of the way. But no, remember, you can take the piece. You can take the piece. That's what you guys have to remember. You can take it. Take it. Let's take it. Okay. Now black's attack is kind of like falling out. But let's bring out his other rook. Okay. Yeah. Right here. And then let's say, I don't know, does this. Yeah, now it's saying black is really stupid because he didn't take the rook. It would have been best to just take the rook. Okay. Let's say he does this. Then he's gonna go here, okay? Let's say this, this. Okay, now look. What can white do? Okay, when you're in this type of situation, you have to look around. Do I have any escape options? You can't take it. It's defended by 2 pieces. Can't go here. The queen is guarding that. It'll become a check. You can't purposefully make your king go into check. You can, if someone does it, like if the opponent does it, then it's fine. But like you can't purposely go into check. So they can't take because it's guard. Can't take. Can't go here. Would have been check. Nope. 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 Can't go back into your own piece. Can't take your own piece. Here is his only option. Okay. And okay. Let's just say black goes here, 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 here. Why can't I take that? That's weird. Wait, what? This is weird. Oh, is it not? Oh, it's white's turn? Okay. Okay. Now you're in this situation. What can white do right now? White is not in check. You can see that. None of the pieces are attacking him. Not this bishop, not this knight, not this rook, not this queen. What can white do? If he wants to stop checkmate. Okay, this is a new term, so write it down. What is checkmate? Checkmate is when white is in check and he has no escape options. He can't take the piece. He can't move away. He can't do anything. So what does white do? That means checkmate. It means the game is over. So what can white do to try to get out of checkmate? He can attack a piece. Now this queen has to move unless he wants to lose his queen. But I can just do this, and now white cannot take this because, yeah, he's in check. He has to move away. He has to. He can't take because he's in check. So he can either move here or here. Let's say he moves here. That's a bad move because then I just go here. Now he still can't take because he's in check. What can he do? He can move back here. Then I guess he can. White goes here. Then what is the only move that actually there are two moves white can do? Try to find it. Give me some time. There are two moves that white can do to save from checkmate. That's right. If you saw knight here or queen here. Let's say queen goes here. Take. And now the only way that white can stay alive, basically, is through taking the queen. And there's three ways to do that. Knight, pawn, or even king. So, see, you guys helped white get out of check. Good job. So, basically what I'm trying to say is that checkmate is when you are in check and you have no way to escape. That could mean, and you can get checkmated by almost any piece except for the king. Because there's one special rule that I want to talk about before we end the video. If we go like this, and I don't know why it's super laggy. Okay, look, what are the options for black here? You might think, maybe I'm gonna go here, right? Trying to attack the king, maybe get him checked. But no, you can't do that because kings cannot move next to each other. That means that, because if you're looking at this in a logical standpoint, if you move here to try to check the other person, you're basically checking yourself. And remember, you're not allowed to do that, are you? So you can't move your king next to an opponent's king. Same for the opponent. Yeah. So what is basically there's gonna be a few special rules I'm going to talk about to make this video just a little bit longer. Sorry, you can leave if you want. Just a few special rules. You can use them in game if you want. They're kind of like small rules. They help a little bit, but not. They're just like small rules, little quirks you can do in game to try to help your position. First one is called castling. There are two ways to do it. The first step to do it is to get all your pieces out. What I mean by that is here. You need to get your knight and your bishop out of the way from your king and your rook. Okay. Now look what the king can do. It's kind of weird, but you know how the king can move one step to any direction? He can also move two steps if he's castling. See, if there's nothing between him and the rook, he can move two steps, and then the rook switches places and goes over here, and the king goes over here. It's weird, but and you're probably asking why would you want to do that? For one, it helps your position because it stabilizes your king. So now it's easier for someone to checkmate you if you're in the center, if you're like covered by all of these awesome pieces right here. You just need to make sure that there's nothing between your king and your rook. Another thing you have to make sure is that you have not moved your king or your rook. Okay, let's say I do here. Okay, why can't I move it? Oh, it's probably white's in, yeah. Okay, let's say white moved there, and black moves here. He doesn't castle, he moves one step. Okay, he's here. Then now black realizes, oh, shoot, he's going to try to go and try to checkmate me. I need to go back and castle. So he goes back. Then white goes, I don't know what he's talking about. I'm just going to go in the middle. Okay, that's fine by white if he wants to do that. And then white's like, black's like, oh, let's castle. Wait, why can't I castle? You cannot have moved your king or your rook before you castle. So you know that you cannot move your king. What about your rook? Okay. White goes like this. Like this. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, no. White's like, okay, I'm just gonna move my rook here because I want to and I can do whatever I want. Then I was like, okay, sure, whatever you want to do. And then white's like, oh shoot, he's gonna attack me. I'm gonna move back so I can castle. White's like, okay. Black's like, okay, I'm just gonna expand. And then now since the rook has moved, you can't castle anymore. See, the king can only move one space. It cannot move two spaces because your rook has moved. Even if you put it back in the space it was before, you can't castle anymore. Okay, the one last really weird rule. Okay, let's say I go here. He goes here. I go here. I go. I go here. And then he goes here. Wait. I go here, and then black goes here. Now, it's a weird rule is you can take the pawn even after it's moved because he's like trying to get away from getting attacked by your pawn. He can move two, remember at the start? Then you can just take, which is a weird rule. It's called en passant. And then, yeah, I mean, he can take back, of course. But then basically, if you move two steps, if your pawn moves two squares to try to get away from another piece, then you can just take. It only works for pawns. You can't do that with like a knight. So let's see that again another way. Okay, here, 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 here. For some reason, he doesn't want to take here, and now that's threatening a take. He just goes here, and then he can take. Wait, what? Oh, oh wait, no, I did mess something up. Okay, then this pawn's looking at him, and he doesn't like it very much. Oh shoot, I don't know what I did. Then he can go here, and then white can just take, which is weird. He can take even after the pawn is moved. What that does is because then what the rule is trying to say is that this pawn cannot escape unless he wants to take. That's what the rule basically means. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. Comment if you want to do more chess videos or if you wanted me to do something else, coding, I don't know, football, anything. Just comment so I know, because if you don't, I don't know, and then you'll just not enjoy it. So I need to know so that I know what you guys want. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe. Bye.